Eric, lovely to see you at Superbooth, first morning. I'm guessing you're probably in much demand because Moog have a new synth, so why not?
We do, in fact. How did you know?
Well, on the grapevine.
So let me play something first, and then we'll start talking. Oh, there was a bird chiming in. How
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, that's cool. Yeah. So I deduced many things from that little passage of play. One, it's a monosynth. Two, it has aftertouch on the keybed. That's as far as I got. Tell me the rest.
Well, this is why I like to play from the beginning. Before you hear me yammering on, you know that it's a Moog synth by the sound of that as well. Yeah, it is indeed. It's a monophonic analog Moog synthesizer. The Messenger is the first Moog synthesizer to be fully developed under the InMusic banner. It is a two-oscillator, fully analog synth. And in true Moog fashion, I'd kind of like to take you through it from left to right across the audio path. So let's start with the oscillators. There are two continuously variable wave shape analog oscillators in the style of the Muse, the Voyager, etc. So you can go continuously from triangle wave to sawtooth wave to 50% pulse all the way to the narrowest pulse width. But we've done something a little different. We've added the wavefolder from the Labyrinth on this. So we can go from the clean triangle wave all the way through a wave-folded triangle wave. So we can actually go from this wave-folded triangle wave and gradually make it cleaner, 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 cleaner. All right, now we have the fully clean triangle wave into the sawtooth, into the 50% pulse, and then all the way through traditional pulse width modulation. We can do that independently for oscillators 1 and 2. Then we have a sub-oscillator. Okay, you've seen sub-oscillators on Moog synths before, but you haven't seen one like this. We have a continuously variable wave shape on the sub-oscillator.
I don't think I've seen that.
I don't think I have either. So you can go from triangle wave to 50% pulse through full pulse width modulation. This is independent of the primary oscillator that it's derived from.
Oh, neat.
So when we were designing this, I was talking with Steve Dunnington, our VP of engineering at Moog, who's been there for 30 years. He worked with Bob back at Big Briar. And I was just looking for something a little more in the oscillator section. It's like, okay, we've got this cool wave shaper now. Is there just some more like secret sauce that we can add? And he's like, I've been working on this idea for, continuously variable wave shape in the sub-oscillator. And I said, well, how do you do that independent of the main oscillator? He goes, oh, well, it's easy. You just do this, this, and this. And he goes on the whiteboard and draws it. I'm like, yeah, do that. So we have that in the synth. And I think this is really revolutionary because it makes a two-oscillator synth sound like a three-oscillator
And you can
synth.
modulate that as well, right?
You can modulate all three of these completely independently.
Right.
So you can have the primary oscillator on a fixed sawtooth wave, and then you can modulate the shape of the sub-oscillator.
And is the sub -1, -2, or is it...
it's only -1.
-1, right.
Yes.
Okay.
So I find that to be extremely clever.
Nice.
We have through zero linear FM on the oscillators.
Good.
So the Frapp Tools Magnolia, they can't have all the fun, right?
We're seeing that later.
It looks like a beautiful instrument.
So it's programmable, right? I mean, it's got program. So is there much? Does it share any kind of heritage with previous instruments? I mean, I'm guessing that is there some Muse in there? Is there some? Where does it come from?
It has 256 presets. It has a little bit of heritage from Muse. I'll get to that in a bit. But it is really its own thing, I have to say. I wouldn't say that it's really based on any one instrument in particular.
Right.
So the oscillators, along with the white noise generator, all get mixed together. and they go into our filter. We have an external input on a 1/4-inch jack that can also be mixed in. If you don't have anything plugged in, we have a feedback control that is automatically available. This has quite a bit of gain on it, and so this can get extremely aggressive if you want it to be.
Is that the sort of classic headphone out back into the mixer type of effect?
Exactly, like taken from the Model D, Mini Moog Model D. We have the Oscillator 2 to cut off modulation, again from the Model D, available. And then we have our famous Moog filter, perhaps the most important part of any Moog synthesizer. But in the Messenger, we actually have an all-new Moog filter.
Okay.
So this is a big deal. This is a big deal. Ready? So let's start with our classic 4-pole Bob Moog transistor ladder filter. Can't have a Moog synthesizer without that.
Of course.
So if you want the classic, 1960s Bob Moog transistor ladder filter with the sweeping resonance and all that, we have that. Okay, you can get that sound out of the Messenger. We also have a 2-pole low-pass mode.
Yep.
So if you want the Oberheim sound or the Mark I ARP sound, we can give you that. We have a 4-pole bandpass mode and a 4-pole high-pass mode as well.
How are the resonance? The resonance on the high pass always gets me. Does it sing song?
Yes, it's actually very smooth sounding.
Nice.
Now, speaking of resonance, as you well know, Nick, on the classic Moog ladder filter, when you turn up the resonance, there's a drop in the bass.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, with this new filter design, through pole mixing, we've put in a bass compensation mode, which we call res bass.
And that's a first for you guys, isn't it?
This is a first. Yeah. This has never been done at Moog before. So if you press this button,
the sort of blend between the resonance and the bass is shifted considerably, isn't it? Yeah.
Considerably, yes. And this is available in all of the filter modes. And if you want the classic, sound, you just turn that off. But if you want to have the resonance and all the bass too.
How much resonance is there? If we increase the resonance, what happens on? Does it start to, when it's in res bass mode? All right, so you get that sort of slightly bubblier sort of sound, right?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, it gets very, especially with
bass compensation on a high pass filter. Discuss or demonstrate.
Well, if you turn the cutoff frequency down, it's going to blow up everything.
Interesting. So it's there. This is a classic synth in a way. You haven't got onboard effects or anything on this, have we? We just got regular. So it's a regular subtractive.
Right. There are no digital effects or anything like it. Pure analog signal path all the way through.
Pair of regular envelopes. The sort of are they the
yes.
usual snappy types?
Absolutely yes. So there are 2 ADSR envelopes. They are hardwired to the filter and the amplifier. But let's say you want to assign them to other places. We have this filter envelope assign and amplitude envelope assign button. What you do is you hold down those buttons and then you just turn the destination. Right. Let's say you want to use the filter envelope to modulate oscillator 1. You'd hold this down and then turn this by the amount you want to modulate, and then that becomes your mod route.
Gotcha.
So we wanted to make it extremely simple and hands-on for the most basic synth functionality, but for those that want to go a little deeper, we did want to have some of those deeper
and it's the same thing.
Functions.
So LFOs, how many LFOs we got?
We have 2 LFOs.
2 LFOs, right.
So LFO2 is hardwired to the mod wheel,
yeah.
And you can easily assign it to pitch, filter, or amp, or any combination thereof. And then LFO1 is assignable. So we picked the main things you probably want to assign it to here, But then if you want to assign it to somewhere else, again, you just use this LFO1
Right, so
assign, and then you can, again,
So it's
assign
like
it to anything
it's kind
on
of
the
you've
panel.
got a mod bus approach rather than a mod matrix approach. Right?
Exactly, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's a typical Moog thing
Yeah.
to do. Let's see. You asked about the Muse. Like, what does it have from, or from other instruments? So, it has a sequencer and an arpeggiator.
Right. Okay.
So these are very much taken from the Muse. So it has a 64-step sequencer.
Yep.
And the sequencer has generative behavior with note probability and gate probability and that sort of thing. And the arpeggiator does the same sort of thing. And like the Muse, if you go into the arpeggiator mode, you'll see your 16 steps of the arpeggio, and you can mute individual steps
right, so you
to
can
create like patterns
up, right.
and that sort of thing.
Neat.
Then let's see, as far as I/O goes, it has USB-C. It has 5-pin MIDI in and out.
Yep.
On the 3.5 millimeter modular connections, we have gate CV in and out, clock in and out.
Yep.
Then on quarter-inch, we have a sustain pedal input and expression. We mentioned the external in already. Both headphones and audio out.
Right.
Let's see, typical left-hand controls, pitch, bend, and mod wheel. 32 full-size keys with aftertouch and velocity.
Yep.
It is a metal panel.
I can confirm.
Yes.
Have you got any other patches? Because we heard that dual bass, or has it been voiced up yet? Have you got
It has been voiced up. Let's listen to some things. So there are 256 patches arranged in 16 banks of 16.
Right.
That's a typical Moog thing to do. The first bank of 16 is kind of a best of, like we did in the Muse. And then after that, they're organized into categories. The next 3 banks are basses. I think it's like bass classic, then bass modern, bass sub. Then there are 2 banks of leads, like lead hard, lead soft.
Right,
then it goes like woodwinds, sweeps,
okay, so
orchestral, that sort of. So let's listen to a few things. So you heard this first bass already. Oh, it suddenly got very soft.
I turned it down because the resonance was so high.
Oh, right. All right, so here's another bass.
Is there sync going on in that?
Yes.
Oscillator sync, right, there we
You
go.
see that that's on? Yeah.
Yep. And the aftertouch in full effect?
Yes. Here's a tighter bass.
And has it got, I was thinking, because it's mono, can you set the voice behavior, like low note priority, last note priority? Have you got the ability to do that kind of stuff?
Yes, you can do that.
So you can set it up in the mono way that you like to play it.
Right, the default is last note priority.
Right, okay.
But you can do, low note, high note if you want.
So this is now, it's available now.
It will be available in 1 month in early June. I believe the exact date is June 10th, but let's just say early June.
Okay, and have you got a fixed price for it yet? I mean, US dollars, I guess?
Yes, I don't know the GBP price. The US dollar price is $8.99 and Euro price is $8.49.
Great.
Here's
Let's
a lead.
try a couple more.
Yeah. Here's another lead.
Can you play it in duophonic mode? Does it do that, or you?
No, it does not do duophonic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Sort of brassy.
Yeah, we have the envelope detuning oscillator too.
Nice. Fantastic.
We had our usual crew of just awesome sound designers help us with voicing this. I can't list everyone, but people like Drew Newman, who worked on the Moog software, Andrew Schlesinger, who worked on Muse, of course, our internal team as well. So I think the presets are great.
So we've got some arpeggiator action going on there.
Yeah, here, let me show you this this business we were talking about. So, do the little skippy thing.
Excellent.
And if I go, hey, that's a bunch of rubbish, I hate that. Put it back to normal again.
Nice one. Thank you very much, Eric.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we'll get one in for review, and we'll see you online somewhere at the next show.
We'll make sure that happens, Nick.
Thank you very much.
All right, cheers.